So, so today will be the last face-to-face meeting lah for us. For Kamis, I think if there is something, I will just record something for you to refer to as a recording for the Thursday class. So for today, if you have any question, even after this, you can ask if you have any question about mechanism in general, or about the final exam in particular, you can ask. So I guess what I'm going to do is to go through some solution to the homework, because I think we have covered all grounds, all topics. So let's see if I can share my screen. All right. Let's see if I have that thing on here. Maybe not. Okay. So perhaps this is one of the things that we can look at. Okay. So question on gear design will be, I think, in the I think this one will be in the elective part. Either question, I think question number 4. Question number 4 will be something similar to this. So it says design a gear train. The value is plus 200, meaning the direction of motion or rotation for the input and output should be the same. So if you say input is counterclockwise, output will also be counterclockwise. From interference criterion, no gear should have fewer than 20 teeth. So that would be the constraint. No gear should have more than 120. So the minimum is 20 teeth, maximum is 120 teeth. Input rotates at 2000 RPM, delivering 5 horsepower. So that information should give us the module or the diametral pitch for the first gear or first pair. So when you have this kind of problem, you can come up with this concept. At least you must decide, or you must know, or it is up to you actually, how many stages you want this to happen. How many stages? Okay, so do not do this in one stage, because the maximum you can go for a pair of gears is 10. So if you have a VR or VR of 10, that's fine. You can have just 2 gears. But if you have more than 10, it is advised that you have it in many stages. So many stages can be in a series or in many different stages. So here it's not in series. So here we have 1, 2, 3, and 4 stages. 4 lapis lah, 4 lapis. Kalau nak buat satu baris macam tu pun boleh. That we call that as simple gear train. So this one is a compound gear train. Compound gear train. Apa kebaikannya kalau kita buat compound? So if you have a series or simple gear train, everything needs to have the same diameter pitch. So that thing will be very large. So dia akan memanjang ke sini. Tapi kalau we have in many stages like this, we can have different diameter pitches, so we can control the size as well. We can try to make it as compact as possible, because jarak dia tidak melebar ke secara horizontal. Alright, so that's the situation. So from the information of 2000 RPM and 5 HP, so you can refer to this table. The pinion is 2000 RPM, there is no 2000, so 2000 is between 1800 and 2400, and 5 horsepower is this one. This one, 5 horsepower. 5 HP, so 5 HP and between here, so it's between 12 and 12, so at 2000 RPM, the diameter pitch PD must be 12 also. So that's why we choose 12, PD 12. 12 teeth per inch. 12 teeth per inch. So in the concept for the VR velocity ratio, we know that ultimately we want to have a positive 200. Positive 200. So we try to break it. So if you know we have 4 stages, meaning we must have 4 pairs of gears. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you try to break it up, what times what until you get 200. Okay, so 200 can be 2 times 5 is 10. 10 times 4 is 40. 40 times 5 is 200. So many different combinations can be achieved here. So you do not have to worry about this thing. So it is open-ended. So there's no ada betul salah. Tak apa ada. Tapi lazimnya you want to start with the low first lah. Low first. If you have a choice between to start from a 2 and a 5, please choose the 2. So dia macam awak nak mula berlari je lah. Takkan nak terus 300 km sejam. So awak kena lagi warm up sikit pelan-pelan, alon-alon, jauh-jauh sangat. Okay, so that's why you try to use 2 first. Maybe after that 5 or 4, then 5. Okay, so you get the idea lah. Even 5, if needed, 5 can also be broken into 2 times 2.5. So if you think you want to break it up like that, that can also be done. Already, yeah. So the first pair between gear 1 and 2, so you know it's going to be -2. So the second one -5. Sebab apa dia negatif? Sebab apa negatif? Sebab dia external gear. So if you want to follow this concept of external gear, the rotation will be so this thing goes clockwise. This one will be counterclockwise. So that's why VR 1 and 2 will be against this 2. But ultimately, if you times -2 times -5 times -4 times -5, so this one will result in the positive value lah, positive 200. So what is important is for you to decide. In this case, I guess I use everything with the PD of 12. So everything in the PD of 12. So I can just refer to this just one table which is corresponding to 12 diameter pitch. So, but actually you do not have to do that. So for every other pairs that are not in series, so you can choose different PD for them. Okay, why do you want to do that? Because you want to make it smaller. You want to make it smaller because well, PD itu dia punya definition is number of bit divided by P. So if you choose different PD, the idea is to try to reduce this number, reduce that number. So if you reduce that number, your PD will go up. So if you choose a bigger PD, maybe the size of the gear will be reduced, can be reduced. Okay. But if you do not want to pening kepala, you want say I just want to use the same PD throughout for all the gears, that's fine also. Tapi saya nak tahu awak ada pilihan tu lah. Tapi kalau awak, if you choose simple gear train, everything in one plane, everything one gear next to another. Kalau ada 10 gear tu bersentuh, saling bersentuh macam kereta api. So in that case, you do not have the liberty to choose different PD. Okay, sebab dia saling bersentuh. Sebab syarat nak sambungkan gear tu, dia kena PD must be the same, and also the angle, pressure angle must be the same. Kalau pilih 25, semua gear kena 25. Tak boleh satu 25, satu 20, satu gear 14.5, tak boleh. So semua kena same pressure angle and same PD. So makna sini antara 1 and 2 can have the same PD of 12, tapi because 2 and 3 tidak bersentuh, dia cuma share the same shaft. So 3 can have a different PD. Okay, if you want. If not, apa? Tak nak pening kepala, say I'm gonna use the same PD as gear number 1. That is fine also. So in this solution, I choose the same PD. So mana sini, if you want to, for the first one, in order to get this -42 or -2, I can choose this one, this pair. So dia punya minimum is 20, so I choose 21 and 42. 20 ada tak? 20 and 40 ada? Tak ada. 40 tak ada. So that's why I cannot choose the 20s. Okay, I have to choose 21. The 2 is 42. So that's why I choose this pair. So that's the smallest pair I can get to get a 2. Okay, and then to get a 5, I choose 120 and 24. 120 is the maximum. Kita ada lebih daripada tu lagi. So 120 is available, and 24 pun ada. 24 pun ada. That's why you can choose this pair. 24 and 21 ada. Kalau kita pilih 820, kena ada 80. So 80 tak ada. So that's why we cannot choose 20 and 80. Because 80 is not available. Okay, and then 7 and 8 is 120. So So if the ratio is the same, so you can use the same thing lah. Tapi kalau nak choose yang lain pun boleh. Contohnya 30 darab 5, 150. So, tak ada pula 150. 144 bagi 3 sudah. Bagi 5. Tak boleh. So I guess 21 darab 5, 105. So 28 darab 5, 140. So I guess these are some of the. So if you want to use other numbers, so say I want to use a different diameter pitch, so you have to refer to that table. So if the number you have better numbers available, so you can go and choose that. Go choose that. Cuma if PD yang you nak choose tu, I guess better to choose higher PD lah. Kalau tadi 12, so kena pilih lebih daripada 12 PD yang lebih besar daripada 12. Sebab apa? If you want to choose the different PD, dia punya syarat dia ataupun spirit dia is for you to choose a PD that will make the diameter smaller. PD that will make the diameter smaller. So otherwise, what's the use of using a different PD? So if you are going to make the system bigger, so mana you want to make it slimmer lah, nak bagi dia diet sikit, bagi dia small in size. Tapi if you cannot do that, you tu nak pening-pening, use the same PD for everything. Okay, so faham any question about that thing? So this is a soalan elective lah. If you think you want to answer this kind of question, you can study this thing, make sure you understand. Okay, the next question is going to be this one, and this one is a soalan wajib. So this one, whether you like it or not, you have to be able to do lah. Otherwise, you lose a lot of marks on this thing. So this one will be a planetary gear. I know you guys love planetary gear, because they look cute. They look very, very nice. Actually, why we have planetary gear is to be able to. I think the spirit to have a planetary gear is to be able to make the gearing system more compact. So that's why they invent planetary gear. Okay, so planetary gear will involve the basic stuff or basic structure where you have the sun gear in the middle, and then planets. So planet can be at least one, can be 2, 3, 4. So the more you can relate to the loading sharing lah, stress distribution. So if you have one planet gear, that planet gear will cover or handle all the burden. Whereas if you have like 3 in this case, so the burden will be divided by 3 lah. So that's the situation. But in terms of kinematics, there is no difference whether you have 3 or 4 or 5. Okay, so in our case, we are just going to analyze it as if we have only one planet. So mana planet 3 ni, planet 3 is just consider one only. awak tak perlu tunjuk 3 planet tu. So always do only one of the same thing. Okay, so gear 3, even though we have 3 copies of gear 3, so we just do one, analyze one only. So the 3 steps in the left will always be the same. So ini awak kena hafal lah. Dekat belakang your exam question will not have this table. I will not prepare this table for you. So you have to, if you want to use this approach, you have to remember lah how to construct this table. Okay, when you create this table, so make sure you have a column for stun gear, a column for planet gear, column for ring gear, and also a column for the arm or carrier, arm or the carrier, planetary carrier or arm. So tu komponen-komponen kena ada lah. Okay, so for the first method or first process is to give plus one rotation. So ada buku dia cakap letak negative one. So itu saja nak tunjuk kelainan sajalah. So it doesn't matter lah whether you want to go start with a plus rotation or a minus rotation. Just give one rotation lah. One rotation for everything. One rotation. So ini is the same process for all gear. For all gear. So itu lakukan tu secara otomatis. So the second step is to lock the arm or the carrier. Lock the arm meaning this one. Meaning that one you give 0 lah. So you give 0 here. 0 value. Zero value here. Okay. Okay, so mana sini boleh isi dulu. Then followed by number 2, give a 0 there. 0 there. And number 3, I guess you can decide here. Okay, number 3, you can decide that dekat soalan tu, which one will be fixed in the end, or in the reality, which one will be the fixed member. Okay, ni. Dia kata if gear 2 is fixed, so that's why in the end, the sun gear 2 is going to be fixed. Okay, so that's you can fill up this cell. Okay, so you can fill up the blue one, this yellow one in the second process, and the third process, we decide which one will be locked in reality. So then you see in the second, in order for sun gear to be 0, if this is a +1, so this one will be a -1. So now you can decide that. You can decide that. Okay. You can decide that. And I guess over here also you can same thing like. So if this is +1, second process, second step is 0. So this will, the total will be a +1, +1. So what you have to decide, just this 2 actually, just this 2. And then this one will just follow suit. Okay, so X will be just this plus this plus this. Okay, so let's put in the information. So in the for planet gear, you have to relate from gear. So this is gear 3. You have to relate how to get from gear 3 to this one. So you treat this as the input. Okay, treat the -1 here as your input. So usually it's either this one or the last one would be the input. So if you have decided, for example, you need omega 3, going to relate that to omega 2. So you remember this is basically omega 3. Just next to 2. So ini terus and 2 over 3. So taruhlah ini kalau dia biasa okay, so ini we want to get this one from the satu so kita just plug in number. But remember over here would be the one that value because you record that to second step. Okay, so in the next one for here 4. So this one relates to this one. So 4 first, then we and we check 53 and 4. Going to be 4 is a ring gear and 3 is a radial gear. So the relationship is a positive one. Positive and 3, 4, and 2 and 3 is just the 2 radial gears, external gears. So active and 2 over. So this one will fall. This is 2. This one cancel. And 2 over. Yes, so what we are left with is just to plug in the numbers. Plug in the numbers, okay, carefully. So that's why in this case, I guess, this information try to get all the information needed to calculate this thing. So here we have 6 divided by this. So this is a positive 3, and plus that with the positive 1 on top. So you get a positive 4. And this one will give you a positive 0.6. And plus that with the top one is going to give you 1.6, positive 1.6. Okay, so now when we already got the row for the total, so this is the reality lah. So the reality. So back to the question here, find the angular speed of arm 5 RPM. So you basically want to find omega 5 divided by omega 4, because in the reality, omega 4, gear 4 rotates at 100 RPM. So the input is at gear 4. This ring gear is the real input, and it is rotating in the counterclockwise. So positive, right? Positive. So that's why we want to solve for omega 5. So the input is omega 4. So take for omega 4, this one is the total plus 1, and omega 4 is 1.6 positive. So put that 1 divided by 1.6 positive. So and plug in the value for omega 4, which is a plus. Sebab apa plus? Because it's rotating counterclockwise, CCW. So you get your omega 5 to be 62.5 RPM. Okay, alternatively, you can use the equation method. Equation method will be given in the back of the exam question. This one will be in the equation sheet. But you must know how to use it. Must know how to use it. So for equation method, you have to decide. You want to solve for omega 3 or you want to decide for omega 4. Because these are two things that you need to solve. So last gear will be omega 4. Omega 4. And the first gear, you can assume it to be the sun gear. First gear will be the sun gear. So L is for last, F for first. So and arm is gear 5. Gear 5 is the arm or the carrier. Okay. On the right hand side of the equation, you have NP over this is the pinion over the gear. So pinion. Pinion over gear. So if you put the gear 2 on the bottom, so over on the right hand side, gear 2 must be on the top. Okay, so gear 2 kat sini kat bawah, dekat sebelah kanan, gear 2 must be on the top. So mana you go from the pinion, gear 2 as pinion, pergi gear 3 as the gear. Pinion, gear, then gear 3 will be the pinion, and gear 4 will be the gear. Okay. So plus minus ni elok awak ikut. Kalau tak payah juga. So this is the between 2 and 3 will be a negative. Between 3 and 4 a positive relationship. And then you plug in the numbers, and you should be able to come up with omega 5 equals to 62.5 also. And same direction. Ramai juga pengikut di online. Saja tak main kelas tak nak. Tak tahu-tahu je. Okay, just apa nama tu? Ring gear animation GIF. Gerak pun. Okay, you can see it. How do I visit this thing? Where's that thing? Boleh nampak? Mana yang tadi? Okay, so see this thing. This thing, the planet with counterclockwise, and this ring here will also hit counterclockwise. So that's why the relationship between a planet here and a ring here is a positive relationship. Dia punya arah putaran sama. Okay. Whereas for the sun here and the planet goes clockwise as this thing goes counterclockwise. So the direction is negative. It's opposite. So that's why the ratio will be a negative ratio. Yeah. Okay, so that's why we have a positive relationship between the planet here and the and the ring here. So I want you to understand that why this thing is positive. Why this thing is positive. Between 3 and 4, positive. Okay, the next one is the question number 3. I guess you guys have done this, right? Have submitted this homework. Okay, this one will not be in the final exam. Many years ago, I put it in, but I guess not many people can finish the question within the time. It's very time consuming, so I hope you do this for your understanding. So usually the question will be like this. The motion sequence. You are going to be given the motion sequence, how your cam will behave. So the first one, it will rise. So all this thing is describing for one rotation of the cam, one full rotation of the cam, 360 degrees. So the first motion will be to rise 2 inches in 1.2 seconds using a certain constant acceleration motion. So you have to find out what are the equation related to constant acceleration. And then dwell for 0.3 seconds. Dwell meaning it will maintain that position after it rises. And then after the dual, it will fall have 1 inch in 0.9 seconds using another type of motion, which is cycloidal, and then maintain that position for 0.6 seconds. So meaning it's dwelling. And lastly, it will fall back to the towards the base circle in 0.9 seconds using another type of motion called harmonic. So in this solution, I created this thing, but if you are aware, I have given you the Excel. You can also use that Excel template, but you have to combine because we have different type of motion, the constant acceleration, cycloidal, and also harmonic. So I'm not sure whether in reality people use this kind of combination, but just use it for fun. And use all these things, and in the end, after I run it, I was able to, this is a calculation by hand, a manual calculation. And I guess I mentioned many times, when you have sine or cosine, when dealing with this kind of equation, you must know that this part needs to be in the radians mode. So make sure you set it in radians, and then only you can get the right answer. If you put setting in degrees, I guess it's going to be wrong. I guess if you want to do it in degrees, you do not have to use this 2 pi. 2 pi must be omitted. So a little bit of modification needs to be done if you want to use in degrees, if you want to work in degrees. Anyway, so if you do correctly, you can come up with something like this. So isn't it beautiful? I think it's beautiful. So beautiful bin looking kind of thing. So in the middle where you have the red circle is the base circle. Base circle. Here I choose a base circle of 2 inches. 2 inches. So and I construct it 0 degrees towards east and go counterclockwise. Okay, so why do I go counterclockwise? Because in the question, I guess, determine the rotation speed if the cam rotates clockwise. So if your cam is rotating clockwise, you construct the cam in the opposite direction. So cam pusing ikut jam, tapi you construct is opposite. You go counterclockwise. So mana daripada sini go here till here. Okay, so like I said earlier, if you want to read more about cam, sometimes you can find it in the books on mechanism, but oftentimes, a lot of times, you can also find it being discussed in technical drawing books, technical drawing textbooks. Okay, so please do so if you are interested. All right, so this will be the displacement diagram. So this one is if you want to consider or analyze it in angle, and this one to analyze it in time. Because in the original question, the information is given in time, rise in 1.2 second lah, apa sebagainya. So either you want to work in time, or you can convert the time into degrees, because you know that the total time here 1.2 plus this one 1.5 plus this one 1.5 plus that one 2.4 plus this one is 3 and plus this one 3.9. So 3.9 seconds to complete 360 degrees. So from there you can find the relationship between time and the angle. Okay, so I guess that's it in terms of homework 3 here. Any questions? Other question? Okay, so just now we have covered question on gear, and then we have covered gear design, and for chem is not going to be in the final exam, and then the next one is going to be this one in the homework number 4. Have you done it? Have you done this one? This homework? So please do so. So this one will be also a question, wajib question, compulsory question. I guess this will be maybe question number 2. Question number 2 will be inverse kinematics. Inverse kinematics. So the objective here is always to find what theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3. And there's always 2 possible set of question answer. So either use this one or the second one will be this one. Okay. And always this one is the solution if you're using hand. Okay. So this solution that gives you 81 is when you actually use a negative here, then only you get this 81. Right. So if you are pressed in time and if you are interested to only find one solution, one set of solution, always use the negative here in the equation where you have this plus minus. Use the negative one. The negative. If you you finish early, you think you want to impress me, good. You want to show that you are able to find the other set, so you can do the next one with plus here, plus here. So kalau tak cukup masa, kirakan yang negatif sahajalah, negatif saja to solve for theta 1. And then whatever you got here from theta 1, you use that to calculate theta 2, then calculate theta 3. Okay, and then always do the verification. Verification. So you put back whatever you found for theta 1, theta 2, and theta 3. So this last part, theta 1 plus theta 2 plus theta 3 is actually going to be P lah. P. Okay, so you want to show that with your combination that you use or you selected, you are going to get back this 51300, which is the final destination that you want to get to grab this menthol. Okay, here maybe in the question I do not give you the P here, so you have to use your brain. You have to use your brain to decide what is the P there. What this angle. So this one is you want to see if the metal is like this, and your gripper is going to be like this. So what is this angle? This is your angle P. So besides what you do. And this angle must be the absolute angle. Absolute angle meaning you have to calculate from positive x, right? From east. All the other angles, especially theta 2 and theta 3, will be relative angle. Okay, so theta 2, theta 3 are not absolute angle. You do not measure theta 2, theta 3 from horizontal. Always measure theta 2, theta 3 from the link, from the previous link. So theta 2, so you have to measure from link 1. For theta 3, you must measure from link 2. Okay, so that's why they are relative angle. Kenapa kita guna relative angle untuk robot? Sebab robot tu mungkin dia bergerak ke apa ke, mungkin di atas some kind of vehicle. So that vehicle is going to have some angle, relative angle, and it's not going to be perfectly horizontal anymore with respect to the ground. Okay, so in that case, it's harder for us to measure something to the ground with respect to the ground. Okay, kecuali pada kita punya theta 1. Theta 1 sebab the ground is basically the frame. So even if the vehicle moves, so actually the vehicle is going to be the frame lah, will be the ground. Tapi mana theta untuk theta 1, we can still measure from the ground or from the frame. Tapi for the other links yang bergerak-gerak tu, dia susah untuk kita measure that from the ground. So that's why we have to measure from the link before it, the previous link. So that will make it a relative angle, bukannya absolute angle. Okay, so mungkin ada disuruh beri penceritaan sikit. So ceritalah macam tu. Boleh? Okay, so sampai awak bagi verification balik. So that will be the end for that question lah. Okay, ini tak ada solution. Okay, ini just some statics one. You can go through it. So tak perlu jadi tadi. Right. Ada keluar tu. Ada berlapis. Alright. Okay, ni awak boleh check balik lah. Ini adalah soalan design or synthesis. So this you have to check back. I think chapter 4. Okay, the last one will be this thing, single strand chain. Okay, ini ada. So we have to. There will be the last one. I just question 5 will be on chain. Again, question 5 is elective. So you have either choose question 4, which is gear design, or chain design. So chain design will be like this one. Actually, the chain part is this one, the small one. So you almost have to zoom in lah. So you want to replace, I guess the original system uses belt. So you want to replace the belt with a chain. Replace belt with a chain. So the information is that the power that you want to deliver is 40 horsepower, and gear motor operates at 360. So from the motor rotation is 360 RPM, and at the drive shaft is 60 RPM. So that's the ratio lah for velocity ratio VR between the two sprocket, small sprocket and the big sprocket. Okay, assume center distance between the two sprocket is 40 pitches. So sini dikata pitches in terms of P. So you need to know lah how long is one pitch. How long is one pitch? So here, given the number is strand is 1, meaning each strand transmit 40 horsepower. So the pitch 360 RPM, 100 pitch. So you have to refer to certain table, but it's not given here. So from that table, I guess you can find that number is 100. The number is 100. Let me see if I can find the pin here. So dia kata 40 horsepower. Sorry, 40 horsepower. Single strand 40 horsepower. So this one, and then 360. So this is 300. So somewhere here lah. So go up until go to 40. Yeah. So 40 is here lah. So that is in this region, 100. So 360 is here, and hit 40 here. So you are in the wilayah for 100. So chain number 100. Chain number 100. So that's why you choose chain number 100. So what is the pitch length? So take 100 divided by 80. That comes from the equation. So refer back to this one. Pitch is chain number divided by 80 in inches. So you got 1.25 inch for the P. So kalau information ni tadi, center distance or C is 40 pitches. So berapa panjang sebenarnya? 40 times 1.25 inches. So for the VR, you take the 360, the faster over the slower. So 360 over 60, so you have a VR of 6. So you have to find the combination of the teeth, sprocket teeth, N1, N2, and N1 that will give you 6. So from the certain table, you can find 120 divided by 20, yes, you have to go here and maybe here. So 100, so sini 120 ada, 20 is somewhere here, within here. So you can get 6. Ada tak lagi yang boleh 6? 72 bagi 6 ada. Dua boleh bagi 6. Ada. So boleh ke? So you want to say I don't want 120, so I want 90 bagi 6 boleh? 15. 90 bagi 6. So 15. So boleh. So there are so many choices that you can choose from to get 6. Right? So from there you choose this information, and to find what is the length, so you can use this equation. You get put in the C is 40p. Put the whatever you decide for N1 and N2, and here I leave the P in P. So ni sebenarnya, so ni divide by, ni tak ada P lah. Check balik ni equation. So I guess you have to put in the value for P lah. P is 1.25. Ya, kejap tengok sini. Dia awak kena masuk value P tu lah. Masukkan value P. Tapi jawapannya dalam link. Link. Okay, so yeah. So you must put in or substitute P equals to 1.25 here, then your answer will be in terms of links. And links must be integer. So if your answer is 162.14 something, so you must go apa nama tu, round it up, tak boleh round down. Tak boleh pergi 162, so kena naikkan ke atas 163 link. 163 links, and that's about it. And I guess gear this rantai you can buy by links. I guess you can connect one link after another, and then I guess you can connect everything into a loop, and then only you can assemble it to your rockets. Dia biasa main basikal kan? Motosikal, mungkin rantai putus ke apa, biasa pack. Ada biasa buat. You look like a biker? No. Okay, so I guess we have covered all grounds except one. Yes, if we, I guess before we conclude today, the first one, the first question will be this one. So the first question will be on this topic, true. hang lah. Yeah, give it a few minutes. This topic usually, or this file usually give me some trouble. I don't know why. Okay. So I guess I want you to look in some of this example. So the question will be something like this now. Okay. So this one will probably require you to understand the geometry that is involved, because the screw part is actually just small part of it, just a small part of it, but it's going to, after that, be taken, I guess the majority of the time will not be on the screw per se, but rather on the geometry of the mechanism. Okay, except that the screw will change something, and that will change the shape of the geometry. For example, in this case, or in this question, after you turn the crank here, this value will change. Okay, this value will change. It's not going to be 18 anymore. So it's either going to be more than 18 or less than 18. So you have to decide whether the change will make the value increase or decrease. Okay, so that one will require you to understand the hand rule. Hand rule, whether it is a right hand rule or left hand rule. So whether this thing is going to move to the left or to the right. So that's the big challenge there. After that, it's just for you to be able to play around with the, or to understand or to solve the geometry. Okay, boleh? So geometry ni kadang-kadang you kena gunakan itulah. If you want to draw betul-betul, make sure you have your big ruler dan sebagainya. Otherwise, make sure you use square cosine method lah. Cosine rule. Cosine law. Cosine law. So cosine law or this Pythagoras law rule. So all this thing is needed to be able to analyze this geometry lah. Okay, so tengok this example. So some ada jawapan itu, some I guess you can try and so the main thing is to understand the screw, how it works, and I guess screw will also need for you to be able to find the pitch lah. So pitch kalau dia dalam metric, that information is given to you directly. Pitch is after the dash ataupun after the multiplication symbol. So 1.25 ni adalah pitch. 1.25 mm. Okay. Tapi if the question is in inches, the dash 13 tu bukan pitch. 13 tu ialah apa nama ni? 13 ni adalah threads per inch. So untuk pitch awak kena ambil 1 per threads per inch. 1 bagi 13 lah. So dia pitch ialah 1 per 13. 1/13. 1/13 of an inch. Okay. So awak nak soalan dalam inci ke dalam mm? Okay, Budino nak naik mm. Kita tengoklah. Apa yang keluar. Alright, I guess okay, ini kena guna cosine rule. So cosine rule I do not give in the formula sheet lah. So So you have to remember how to come up with the cosine rule. So cosine rule is something regular, then you should be able to construct. Okay, macam mana? Kau rasa nak belajar lagi dengan saya ke? Dah sorry ke? Okay, judging from your exam, saya itu semua score. So, bolehlah datang buat master dengan saya. Boleh no? Master sama PhD terus Baris Selim semua master. Okay, anyway, I think if you cannot find job or something like that, you can come back to UTM, can do master with me or with somebody else. And so I apologize if I've done something wrong or offended you. And I guess maybe I'll share something for Thursday on video or recorded. And if you have any question regarding the test, which I think I have spoken a lot about it, and I guess just do some exercises. So many solutions have been shared with you, and make sure you submit all the homework if you haven't, and just prepare for the test. And don't feel too pressured about it. I know some of you guys have to test or to exam on the same day, but I guess this one you shouldn't be troubled by this one. I have shared with you all the topic for the test and the real question, the real topic. So, insyaAllah saya tak tipu awak lah. So, tak adalah soalan yang luar daripada jangkaan. So, I wish you all the best for all the final exam, and I hope you can graduate this year, and see you in the convocation. Assalamualaikum. Have a good one. Mana? Okay, bye-bye. Yang mana di sana, bye-bye.
Terima kasih, Doktor.